Good morning to you all. First of all, there might be a slight delay on the line, but hopefully you can hear me well here from Italy, where I am on a holiday at the moment. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward, to joining the Phoenix. Why did this move come about? So after 4 years in Scotland at Rangers, I was looking for a new challenge, a new league, and ideally a league that was slightly more competitive. I've had 4 amazing years at Rangers. I think one of the maybe slight disadvantages of the Scottish League is the big difference between the top six and the bottom six. So up until March time, some games can be a bit predictable. And then post split, as we call it, so when the top six gets together, then it actually becomes incredibly competitive. So the end of the seasons in Scotland has always been very exciting, I think, for the neutral watcher. The league has been decided on the very last day of every season I've played in Scotland, so that's been very exciting. But I'm looking forward to playing in a league where every single game is a challenge, where you don't know whether you're going to win or lose. So that is one of the pull factors that got me to the A-League to start off with. I've had very good conversations and discussions with the Phoenix, which convinced me to come over to the other side of the world for me, and sign for the Phoenix. The facility is probably one of the factors. The fact that no trophy has been won yet by the club in the women's game, which hopefully I can hopefully contribute to try and achieve some success. Plus the fact that my partner is from New Zealand, so this was a great opportunity on and off the pitch to try and see what football and life in New Zealand is all about.
Yeah, wonderful. Because I guess a lot of people sign not knowing much about New Zealand. So you've probably been able to find out a bit about New Zealand before making this decision.
Yes, so I've been together with my partner for 2.5 years, so I guess that gives me a little bit of yeah, some knowledge of what Kiwi culture is about. I've been to New Zealand once, around Christmas 2023, just for 10 days on the ground. It was a quite a short visit with football. You don't really get too much time off in the winter season in Europe anyway. Um, but yeah, that was a lovely visit, and I can't wait to immerse myself a little bit more into living in New Zealand and what it might entail. Like I said, Kiwi culture, Maori culture. That's something that I didn't grow up with. Being born in Amsterdam in the Netherlands, so I see this as another adventure in my long football career that has brought me to Manchester, London, Florence in Italy, Glasgow in Scotland, and now Wellington.
Yeah, great. What from your conversations made you sort of sure that the Phoenix are going to do everything they can to win a title this year? What made you sort of believe that's really in their sights?
Well, that's you never really know before you sign for a club. I have to be honest. I've signed for clubs in the past where the goal is to try and compete for trophies, and it didn't always work out. So you can only go off your gut feeling and the feeling you get when you speak to people, and that's been very positive with every single staff member and supporting staff member I've spoken with from the Phoenix. I got a really good feeling. So yeah, that is something I try to follow in my career. Every club or many clubs have big ambitions and want to win things, but it's about how to get there and almost the culture and the environment that is created first and foremost to try and achieve the successes. So I just got a really good feeling. Felt like the foundations were there. I think what's helpful is that the Phoenix have a women's team that's already existed for 5 years. I've played at Ajax in Amsterdam and West Ham in London and at Rangers as well, where I joined either in the first year of the club, starting a professional women's team, or the second year. So I feel like it's already a bit more established. I think the people at the club know maybe what's needed or what needs to be added. Experience they've learned from the last few years. I'm not fully aware of that. I haven't been following the A League and specifically Wellington's of Phoenix performances within those last seasons. But I think there's a good plan, a good vision out there for how this next season could look. And I just got convinced by the people really, and on top of that, the facilities and at the NZCIS that I'm excited to start using.
Awesome. And just lastly from me, obviously you've played a lot at midfield through your career, but you've made a sort of a slight shift back a little bit in your most recent stint. Where do you want to play as you come to a new club, or are you sort of open to all options?
Yeah, I'm open to all options. I'm a midfielder originally. It wasn't by choice 2 years ago that I moved to the back line. It was because of injuries that the new manager that came in at Rangers asked me to play there, and then she quite liked me there because I'm a midfielder. I like to play forwards. I think as a midfielder, so rather than when there's a bit of pressure coming from you from strikers, rather than putting it long or kicking the ball out. And I'm always trying to find the midfielder, trying to find like a footballing solution. But then it's about trying to mix it up as well. Don't be too predictable. So can you mix it up as well by using my range? Got quite a good range. So trying to mix that up, I actually discovered that it's quite an exciting challenge of playing in the back line. Quite different having everyone in front of you rather than being in the midfield and having like needing a sort of a 360 degrees vision. So it's very different. The attack, the build up starts with you, so it gives you a lot of responsibility. You have to organize a lot, making sure that when we lose the ball, we don't get countered against. So I don't really know now anymore what position I like most. As long as my qualities can prevail, then I'm happy to play in a back three, in a back four. As a single six, as a double six. At Rangers, we've varied quite a lot these last 2 years in terms of our formation. So I'd like to think that because I'm tactically intelligent enough, I'd like to think after with a few years of experience behind me that I can adapt quite quickly. So I guess it depends a little bit on the personnel, the other players, my teammates, what the coaching staff feels is best for that particular game, the opposition. So I don't really know where I'll end up playing the most, yeah, given the fact that I've played as a centre back in the last 2 years, I'm assuming that is the position I'll be focusing on first and foremost.
Cool. Awesome. Hey, well, thanks. That's all my questions. Thanks very much, and looking forward to seeing you here.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Adam. Looking forward to meeting you too.
yeah, Tessel, could you just, Barry Guy from RNZ Sport, could you just say your name so I can get the pronunciation correct, please?
Yes, of course. That was Brenton's first question when we spoke as well on the phone. So Tessel is my first name, and Middag is my
Thank you.
surname, which is a very Dutch surname and involves a bit of a soft G. So best of luck with that.
Oh, Brenton should have known. My first, Wellington, in my experience, the weather is slightly better than Glasgow, so that hopefully will, make your
I
welcome a
hope
little
so.
bit, yeah, a little bit warmer. So did you have to research much about the A-League, or was that not that important? I mean, how important is it for you to play in a league like this, and what do you think of it?
Yes, I did have to research a bit. I knew of the league, of course. I knew that there was one New Zealand team playing in the Australian A-League, but I didn't know exactly to start off with where exactly the teams were located. So my Australian geography will improve rapidly, I think. And I had to do a bit of research or ask around a bit on what the characteristics of different teams were. And also, you just wait and see which club might potentially be interested in a player like you, which depends on what other players they have in certain positions. So yeah, that's sort of how slowly you get to know much more about a league.
Might not want to answer. So, is your partner a footballer? Was she able to just tell you a bit about football or sport in New Zealand, and just the culture?
Yeah, I've through her I managed to get a bit more insight into both the A-League, well, all the A-League clubs in Australia, and a bit more about the Phoenix. Yeah.
So what do you offer? What can the fans of the Phoenix hope to see from you?
Well, like we discussed previously, a bit of versatility in terms of the positions I can play in. I see the game quite well, so I can help organize by coaching and by trying to see in a moment what the game might need. Of course, always together with teammates and staff. Just a bit of experience. Sometimes recognizing a bit of game management. What the game needs. Do we need to speed it up or slow it down? Some of those things. Like I said, I'm born and raised in Amsterdam in the Netherlands, so which means I've got a certain football culture that I grew up with Johan Cruyff and the Dutch school. So I like for the ball to be on the floor. I like to play with triangles, as we used to call it growing up. So that you always have 1, 2, 3 passing options. But then it's about being smart and mixing it up as well. So using the long ball when required. So all of those things, hopefully, the fans will get to see.
And will you be able to have a full pre-season with the Phoenix? What's your schedule ahead of the new season?
Yeah, so I think Brenton, I'm sure I'm allowed to say that. So the Phoenix have a 7 week preseason leading into the start of the A-League, which is great. I believe what I've been told last year it was 5 weeks, so we've been able to extend it by 2 weeks, which I think is great. Will give us plenty of time to get used to each other and make sure we are at our best when the season starts. So. That will start, preseason will start somewhere in the beginning of September, and I'll be there for the start of it.